Well, that was hecking easy. What about Lilith then?
Oh no, stepbro, pull it out, please.
Well, this build is goddamn busted. It's by far the fastest build I've made, but not only that, it also has the highest, most consistent damage in the game. It's so hecking busted that it's the build that I was starting out in the gauntlet with. And I obviously know what I'm doing. I've got a PhD, a pretty huge... If you don't trust me, then ask this guy. Not only is it busted though, it's also silky smooth. Just check it out. It flies through tier 100 content with ease, one-shotting everything with the ravenous ring. And if something doesn't die, it simply uses rend to finish those bastards off. Well shit, son, I guess you're hooked on this build just as I am right now. So, let Mr. Paragaming teach you how it works. Firstly, it stacks a shit ton of bleed damage. By picking up the hemorrhage node in the Paragon Board, we can easily get multiplicative scaling on our bleeds. It then unleashed all of this bleed damage with rend using Ring of the Ravenous. For destroying bosses, it also uses Rupture. The build shoves this ability so far up your enemies that not even Stepdad can pull it out, making your enemies explode with ease. For staying alive, the build also uses Iron Skin. When combined with the Disembowel and Martial Glyphs, we can keep up Iron Skin permanently. Well shit, boys and girls, now you have some understanding of this build. Let's take a look at the gear and aspects making this build possible now. I'll be showing you the Big Daddy setup. If you have any issues with survivability, then I recommend swapping one item for more defensives. Don't worry though, I'll show you where. For helmet, you definitely need the Shaco. Haha, just kidding. Stop crying, you bitch, and grab Tusk Helm of Joritz. It's equally as good. As chest, you want to get the same as I have here, as well as the Juggernaut aspect. For the Gauntlet, you can also use Rage of Harrogath, but we need a good defensive chest for tier 100 farming or else we'll fucking die lol. On our gloves, you should look for the same as I have with one exception. You don't need the crit chance. Swap it for all stats if you can, since damage over time abilities can't crit. As aspect, take Aspect of Elements for mad DPS. As pants, we're using Thibaud's Will. This is mad important, as it's our main source of fury in this build, and the damage increases is absolutely mad. The boots are really hecking boring, but grab movement speed as well as resistances here. The Ghostwalker's aspect is great, as we will be permanently unstoppable in this build. Alright, so what about the weapons then? The stats that we want on them are all stats, strength, damage, while berserking and vulnerable damage. I'm lacking a few of the optimal stats on my weapons here, probably because I've got a hecking life El Mao, just kidding I don't. On the Big Daddy Hammer, you're going to want to imprint the Conceited aspect. If you're, however, only interested in pushing Gauntlet and not tier 100 farming, however, then you can drop the Conceited aspect and Iron Skin to instead grab another aspect. You would then also pick up Leap, but more on that later. Now for the dual-wield weapons, it doesn't hecking matter what weapon type you use, just grab the correct stats. You also want to imprint Aspect of Ancestral Charge and Aspect of Berserk Ripping here, for big damn and easy-to-hit charges. If you have the Doombringer, then you can replace Aspect of Berserk Ripping. As slashing weapon, you want to get a two-handed sword for the bleed damage and imprint Aspect of Limitless Rage. If you have the Granddaddy, then you can use it as well for higher survivability, but since we can't crit, the damage it brings is pretty dog shit. Alright friends, while we're talking about the weapons, how should you assign the skills? Well, it's pretty easy actually. Just set them all to slashing weapon, and you're good to go. Now for the amulet, we can get some pretty dank stats. We definitely want cooldown reduction and movement speed here. I also recommend grabbing Brawling skill ranks in case you miss a charge and need the cooldown reduction from it. Other than that, the counter-offensive passive is a great damage option as well. For aspect, you're going to want to imprint the Edge Master's aspect. Now, if you have any issues with survivability, then you can easily grab some defensives here as well. For rings, you first need to grab Ring of the Ravenous, as it is pretty much mandatory. Every time we charge, we get 2 stacks of rend, which is absolutely huge. For the other ring, I would love to get my hands on Ring of Starless Skies. It's so damn good, in fact, that it can double your damage if you find it. The fat guy is hiding it from me, however, so I'm using this. Stats that you can grab here are damage to close enemies, damage while berserking, vulnerable damage, and max life. I'm also using Aspect of Unrelenting Fury to more easily spam that rend button without running out of fury. Great job, friends. We're now done with the gear and aspects. Let's see what my pet friend is up to now. Yeah, he's a good boy, keeping track of my stone collection. Now here's a nice stone that I like, Tempest. Here are some other stones that I like too. Evernight, Resource, and Bleeding Support. Very nice stones. They're also fucking busted. I use the Bleeding Support for extra bleed damage and Resource since I'm a rend spam enjoyer, and I want to press it as often as possible. On the other side, we have Flash of Adrenaline for the damage, as well as Duration Support and Tactical Support to keep it up longer. I'm also using Safeguard here, but once I get Genesis, I'll use that. If I ever get it Elmao, any KEKW in the chat, boys and girls? Yeah, you can also swap Evernight for Breaking Support in case you haven't got it. Now, my friends, it's time for my highly intellectual skill tree. The basic skills can suck a dick. Max out Rend and pick up Enhanced and Violent Rend for more damage. In the defensive skills, we grab these for more defensives and Rallying Cry for unstoppable resource generation, as well as our only source of Fortify. We obviously want Iron Skin as well, along with Enhanced Iron Skin to make it not useless. We then head on over to the Brawling skills. Here we want Warcry for a ton of dam, and then we max out Charge for the reduced cooldown and extra damage. We also grab Power Charge as well, so that we can easily reset our charge. If you're going the speedrun route and skipping Iron Skin, then you can pick up Leap instead right here. Also, grab Battle Fervor, as it is our main source of berserking in this build, allowing us to keep it up permanently as long as we use charge. We can't forget Swiftness either, making us fast as fuck, boy. Oh shit, will you look at that? Weapon Mastery skills can actually be useful. We pick up Rupture as well as Enhanced Rupture here for whenever we want to kill bosses. We also grab all of these passives, granting us more damage. Yummy? We then have the ultimate skills. Grab Invigorating Fury for some self-healing whenever you use Rend, and then pick up Wrath of the Berserker. Now for the key passives, we have 2 options, and it's not the one that actually uses bleeds, because it's apparently bugged. We have Unbridled Rage as one option, which grants us the biggest dam, but we are only able to use Rend twice before we run out of Fury. This is my go-to option for everything except Duriel runs usually, and you should definitely use this if you have Starless Skies. The other option is Unconstrained. Only use this if you want to spam Rend more and you're running out of Fury, otherwise Unbridled Rage is the way to go. Goddamn friends, we're almost done now. Only the Paragons and some gameplay left. Oh wait, what is this?
Check out my game shop for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I agree. You can grab Last Epoch, for example, and you'll be supporting me at the same time. Hashtag Sellout. I'm already paying for 10 Brazzers subscription. I can't afford it. Yeah, fine, but the games are cheap as fuck, so it's still definitely worth it. Link is in the description. Now in the starting board, you want to grab Exploit and as many dexterity nodes as possible for maximum vulnerability. Then head on over to the Blood Rage board and pick up the legendary node there to make damage while berserking multiplicative. Also, Socket Ire for more damage while berserking. After that, we go to the Carnage board, grab the legendary node for more attack speed, and socket the Martial Glyph. This is how we keep resetting our cooldowns, and it's hecking busted. We then go to the decimator board to pick up the legendary node for Big Dam, and then we grab Disembowel. This glyph is good for damage, but it also resets our cooldowns whenever we kill bleeding enemies. Yeah, I know, that's pretty hecking busted. After that, we want to go to the hemorrhage board so that our vulnerability damage becomes multiplicative as well. Also grab these nodes here for more damage. And lastly, we have the Warbringer board. Here I'm grabbing a few maximum fury nodes to be able to press rend one more time, and then finish with the mortal draw glyph for the high damage scaling. Good job, friends. Paragons are now done. Let's take a look at how to get good, and after that, you'll be able to start blasting. Now for blasting tier 100, it's easy as fuck. Just press WLMAU, spam charge and rend as much as you want. It doesn't hecking matter which one you press. For defensives, you have your Iron Skin, and for damage as well as resetting your cooldowns, you have Shouts. Wrath of the Berserker is also good for blasting down large packs of enemies. When it comes to bossing, it's really difficult. Just kidding, fam, it's easy as fuck as well. You can either just keep spamming charge to kill bosses, or you can do like I'm doing here. Charge once, press all your cooldowns and start spamming rend. You then finish off by inserting your Rupture so far, not even Stepdaddy can pull it out, and you shall see your enemy explode. Oh, and I saved something important for last just to piss you guys off. Yeah, you're goddamn right. The weapon arsenal. I'm using two-handed axe. Well, shit, son, that's all for this guide. Thanks for watching, Legends. I'll see you in the next one.